Hey kids, and welcome to the show. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the news and some other things. Mostly I am hesitating because I'm going to be talking about some politics. You guys know I'm steering away from politics, but there's still some stuff coming down the pipe that are going to affect you, and they're going to affect everybody and people around you. First off, President Biden and Vice President Harris have been really pushing for these voter right laws along with these mandates. So they're supreme. Oh man. Okay. So before we get into it, a word from our sponsor. Hey guys, while you're in the down there hitting the like, share, and subscribe, and share, comment, all that stuff, head down to the description. Click on that Scars and Stripes link and empower veterans by buying some coffee. Use my link, I get a little bit, and then we'll use that to support our channel. So, thanks a lot, and here, let's go back to the video. Okay, so guys, we've got President Biden asking social media companies to stop spreading misinformation. And misinformation is basically anything that the administration doesn't agree with. And the reason I say that is because we know that they have been working with Facebook to censor information. I know this because I myself have been censored. I have the receipts. They're all over the place. I had to take a video from here and put it on Rumble so you could watch it. But yes, there is a video on Rumble that was censored from YouTube. Why am I saying this? They are already in control of the narrative. Those things get censored. This video will probably get censored. And I kind of hope it does a little bit, because then I can throw it over onto Rumble, and then I can make another video about how there's a video over on Rumble that you can actually watch. But here we go. The Biden administration has been working with Facebook. Jen Psaki has confirmed that multiple times. Just look it up. Google it. I'm not even going to put it up on the screen. Just Google it. Jen Psaki helping Facebook. Okay, so you'll see all kinds of cool stuff. We know that. Now they're pleading for these mandates to take place. The Supreme Court has said no mandates, with exception of some healthcare workers and some other stuff. I haven't seen the entire thing. I haven't heard the decision. I haven't read all the stuff. But we know that the OSHA mandate has been knocked down. So hopefully the truck drivers will not have to abide by this mandate that we're trying to put out tomorrow, which would have gone into effect basically on Monday and would have just jacked everything up. And in that case, I was saying, buy crypto, buy crypto, buy crypto. So now I'm just going to hodl, because there's this thing that's kind of what's happening. I was expecting this crypto to just skyrocket, which means since I said crypto, you probably won't see this video until Monday when it's too late. So do not take my financial advice on this YouTube channel. Because, yeah, you're not going to see this in time. Right now, if you're investing, today is, I think, the 14th, yes, of February. I'm sorry, January. Whoa, I just gained a month. Awesome. It's the 14th of January. And it's a Friday, which means today's the day. If you have money in cryptocurrency, it's starting to go down. It's about to pop, in my opinion. So, you're probably going to watch this not on today. And if you purchase based on my video, you will lose money. I'm almost guaranteed you will lose money. Don't listen to me. But go start researching cryptocurrency. It's a really important asset to start putting in your portfolio. Don't throw all your stuff in cryptocurrency. Eliminate a bad habit and put that money into cryptocurrency. For me, it was the bad habit of going to the casino and dropping 20 bucks into a slot machine. Instead of 20 bucks into a slot machine, I said, what the heck, I'm going to do cryptocurrency. So I did the cryptocurrency, and I saw some exponential gains. It was pretty cool on a small scale. So then I realized that I needed to learn a little bit more about cryptocurrency. I don't know enough to share things with you. However, I follow the news, and I know that the reason it crashed is because of the riots, and I'm not going to say it. The country starts with a K, and I'm not going to be banned for saying it, but I'll sound really funny, and because I can't pronounce it, and I don't want to disrespect the people that live in that region. I need to practice the name. I apologize, but I'll put it up. There you go. Kazakh. Yeah, I can't do it. Anyway, there are riots there. That's one of the number 2 miners of cryptocurrency. And when we're talking mining, that's transaction journaling. Okay, it's not. People aren't sitting on their computers going, hey, I'm going to make Bitcoin. Hey, I'm going to sell it to somebody. No, this mining that people are talking about, or it's the blockchain, it's the transactions, and that's a lot more complicated than what I'm saying right now. But just know that there is this thing that's happening. People are doing these transactions. So there's a blockchain. People know where all this stuff is. And if you don't think the government knows where all that money and stuff is, you are mistaken. So don't think you're going to go into cryptocurrency to hide your money from the government, because they know where your money is. They know what cryptocurrencies you have, because if you have a particular one that they are currently modifying, and the government does that, then, and you all of a sudden become a multi-billionaire, guess what? They're going to want to have you in their corner. So trust me, they know where the numbers meet the people. So don't think that cryptocurrency is a shady backroom dark web kind of thing. It is it's the first piece of what's going to happen worldwide. We are already on a digital currency. We just call it credit cards. As we're tapping our phones and we're starting to do more things through computers and through AI, cryptocurrency just makes sense. The US dollar will be the US crypto dollar at some point. It's going to happen whether we like it or not. So if you're just going to sit around and say, well, I'm not going to invest in crypto, when everybody switches to crypto and you don't know what crypto is or how to trade it, you are going to be at a disadvantage. So buy crypto, don't buy crypto, whatever, but learn about it, because I think it's a new skill that you definitely have to understand. This is new banking. The banking industry doesn't want this to happen. This is a new style of banking. You're going to see some of the big banks start to invest in cryptocurrencies, not because of any other reason than they're trying to keep your money. If they start buying and selling and trading in cryptocurrency, they will be able to keep more of your money. So just be aware where the banks are trying to keep your money and where you are using your money to do things for you. Cryptocurrencies are nothing more than little businesses that you invest in. Sometimes they're good businesses and sometimes they're bad businesses. But there are some really neat businesses that are out there. And if the people that started them do a great job, you will get really wealthy. If the people that started them are crooks, you won't. So find the projects you like. Find the ones that are open out there. Play around with those little silly utility tokens, because you never know. When you can buy 1 million tokens for $5, buy them and let them sit. That's just what you do. If you lose $5, you lose $5. If something happens and that $5 becomes $5,000, then you can kind of say, hey, that's pretty cool. And then you watch that go down. So I said a lot about why you should invest. And I'm going to tell you something that's really scary. And this is why I keep saying, don't invest based on this video. I want you to go learn based on this video. Excuse me. Take a minute, go down there, buy some Scars and Stripes coffee, okay? Helps the channel. So here's the thing. Let's say you have $1, and all of a sudden that dollar shoots up in cryptocurrency. We got the Willie coin, okay? So we got a $1 Willie coin. You buy 100 $1 Willie coins, you have $100. Well, all of a sudden that $1, well, let's do 1 penny. So we have $1 in Willie coins. There's 100 Willie coins. Okay, just backing up a little bit. It's easier to do the math. So each coin is worth a penny, not $1. Each coin is worth a penny. So we have $1 gives us 100 coins. Well, people start wanting this coin because I'm using it for my channel. I'm saying, hey, if you buy with this, if you buy Scars and Stripes coffee with this coin, then I will give you a 5% or a 10% discount. So then you're using my coin. Well, all of a sudden, the products start to raise in price, and then those coins start to be a little more valuable. So other people are like, well, I want to save money on that product, so I'm going to buy this coin so I can save money on the product. And that is a way that cryptocurrency kind of just like defeats some inflation, because remember, the cryptocurrency is based on the dollar, but the use of the cryptocurrency is based on the demand. So if those businesses created demand, so that 1 penny coin that becomes $1, you had 100, you invested $1, all of a sudden people want that coin, it becomes $1, then you have $100 on your $1 investment. Well, if that $1 investment becomes $5, it's 500. So there's this exponential growth. That's the fun part of crypto. Here's the not so fun part of crypto. That dollar will become $3, and then it'll go down to $1.50. And then it'll just kind of be blah, 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 for a little while. And then it'll shoot up to $5 and come down to $4, and then to $8, and then down to $7. And every time it does it, you're going to raise more money. Well, that's easy when you're talking a couple $100. So here's where people, especially us poors, us plebs, or whatever you want to call it, that have never had money, get scared and run away. If you have a coin that you put $1 in because you bought it for 0.6 cents each, and all of a sudden that coin becomes a penny, then you have $1 million. It's just, it happens really fast in that case. So that's how people get wealthy. However, stuff like Shiba Inu and Doge, you got all those people becoming millionaires, and then it's done. Once it hits $1, it's done. So let's say you have some Shiba Inu. I happen to have a little bit. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. So it went up 10,000% and it went down 9,000%. So someone who's never seen that much money at the top freaks out a little bit and says, oh, I got all this money, I got to sell. So they sell, and then they just lose the investment, which is fine. Sell at the top, great. A lot of people look at the top and they're like, I got to make more, I got to make more, I got to make more. And then it doesn't go up and it starts to go down. And then they start to get nervous and they're like, oh, it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. I'm going to lose all my money, I'm going to lose everything, I'm going to lose everything, because they look at that as an exponential gain and not as a potential gain. So you have to look at crypto in a potential gain and only sell it when you are ready to part with it. I typically try not to sell any crypto unless what I've purchased it for is less than what I need time. So you get this exponential gain. So what's that number for you? What's that number that's going to scare you into selling? That number could be $1,000. You put $1 down on something, and a week later you have $1,000, and you're like, I gotta take $1,000, and then you cash out. Or the reverse, it goes up to $1,000, you get greedy, and all of a sudden it goes back down to like $400, and you freak out because you just lost $600. But in reality, you actually gained $399. But when your mindset is I've lost, not I've gained this much, and it's slower. But if I just wait, next time I'll gain this much, and the next time I'll gain this much. And people don't realize that that big gain will happen multiple times, and it only has to happen like 7 times. So if you look at your portfolio and you say, wow, I started here and I started here, and if you can make that happen, if you can hold for 7, 8, 20 times, and holding like for those spikes, so you get a spike, you get about 3 spikes a year is what I've noticed, about 3 spikes a year. If you can hold through about 3 spikes a year for about 5 years, you have a lot of money in your bank. You have a lot of money in your cryptocurrency. And this is just like putting $5 there a month. I mean, it's really simple, $10. Say, hey, I'm going to go, instead of buying this big bucket of popcorn at the theater, if you get to go to the theater, I know you're probably going to buy it because when you go to the theater now, you do that. But instead of doing a big bucket of popcorn, let's put $5 on crypto. You'll be surprised how quickly you come to have better spending habits, because with a bank account, you put $100 in a bank account, you put $100 in crypto, look at it over a year. You may sit at $80 in your crypto, but if you look at it over the year, it's probably shot up to 200 or gone down to 50. So it's a long-term hold, and you hold it and you say, okay, when it gets to this point, I'm going to sell because that's what I need. The problem with being on the poor side is your disposable income is a lot smaller. I'm talking $10, $20, $100. And you get these exponential gains. So imagine if you could just say, someone like Elon Musk, for example, or Bill Gates could just say, you know what, put $1 billion on Shiba Inu. They put $1 billion on Shiba Inu, it goes up 1%, they sell. What happens? They make millions in a day. And then everyone that bought it because it shot up, because they bought all that, will make a lot of money. And then all of a sudden, they'll be excited. And before they realize it, it shoots down and they've lost everything. So you have to pay attention to whales and what happens. And I'm not hating on people that have done this, but you start off small and you continue to move forward. And then you just kind of pick up the little pieces. Excuse me. So you move forward, and I kind of explained it to another friend of mine. It's like you get the crumbs. When you're small, you get the crumbs. Eventually you get enough crumbs. Eventually you get enough crumbs and you can have a slice. Eventually you get enough slices, you have a bun. We are the type of people that like to bake our own bread. We're not waiting for somebody else to give us a slice or a crumb. We are baking our bread on this side, but we're also paying attention over here because there's other people baking bread and dropping things and breaking stuff. So while the rich people are making their bread, we're grabbing the crumbs over here and making our own bread over here, because in at least one generation, we will change our kids' lives. There's a great movie that I love. It's one of my second favorite movie of all time. And that is A Knight's Tale. It stars Heath Ledger. And it's about a young kid who decides he wants to be a knight. And he's like a squire. And the knight he's with dies. So he takes on the role of the knight. He hides. He lies. He's pretending to be this nobility. And then stop here if you don't want the spoilers and go watch the show. Skip ahead. And then I will, just skip ahead a little bit. The end of the movie has him with the true prince, giving him knighthood. And he says to him two things. He says, "Thank you for helping me in my time of need." That was number one. And number two, the fact that your friends are surrounding you and they have your back, that tells me everything I need to know about who you are. And that was his nobility. So a lot of people think, oh, this is cool. This kid, young William Thatcher, becomes a knight. And that was the story. But what the story was is young William Thatcher was an orphan. His father had to sell him to this knight to basically be a squire. He was sold into slavery. He never stopped loving his father. His father did the best for him. His father went blind. However, William worked until he had a family. And that's what it was about. The whole movie was about family and friends. So he had these other poor kids that were with him that grew up with him, and they were in on it. And they found other people that were struggling, and they were in on it. And in the end, William had not just become a knight, he had become the member of a family. And family is so important. It doesn't matter how far away they are. It doesn't matter how long it's been since you've seen them. There is nothing more special than family. And family isn't always blood. Sometimes family is someone you went through a traumatic experience with. Sometimes family is someone you grew up with. And sometimes family is the people whose life makes yours better. So strive to be someone that makes everyone around you better. Speak truth. Don't gossip. Don't talk about other people. Just be better. Because it's not hard to be better in today's world. We have to be better. We have to change our stars. And we have to move forward. So if you haven't watched the movie, I'll link that. I don't need to link it. Just watch the movie, A Knight's Tale, with Heath Ledger. And I'm going to pause for a second. I'm drinking my coffee. I'll come right back. Okay, so I'm back. I was starting to lose my train of thought, and it's really easy to lose my train of thought when I'm talking about that great movie. We're talking politics and what's happening. We were talking crypto. And the reason I brought that movie up is because it's a really important phase in my life where I watched that movie and I knew I came from meager beginnings, not like super poor, but definitely working class, which was awesome. Now, back then, yes, some of my friends had nicer things, but I had everything I needed. We were a working class family. I know we had some financial assistance here and there, but we worked. My family worked. We learned what work was. Now they're saying that they want us not to have voter ID laws. And that's the dumbest thing I think we can ever do. I am a brown person, but I'm not brown enough, so I can't speak to that. But I can speak to this. If I open up my wallet, I have no fewer than 5 IDs in that wallet. Got my hunter ID. I've got my driver's license. I've got my military ID. I have my veterans ID. I know I have a lot of IDs. But I also had an ID before I joined the military, which means when I was a young kid, uneducated, I was smart enough to go get my ID so I could go into the recruiting station and join the military and go off and start my real education, right? Never in my life have I thought that an ID was unattainable. Especially today. You can do an ID with your cell phone that's been given to you for free. I have a pretty complicated ID. I have all kinds of endorsements and stuff on my ID. So it's a little weirder. Anyway, the point is, I've always had an ID. I've always had multiple IDs. You can walk up and people are saying they can't get birth certificates because they were born before birth certificates. That's just not true. You can get an ID. Just honestly, go to any homeless shelter anywhere and say, I have no ID. And they will put you in touch with someone that will get you an ID. It's that simple. If you know anybody that doesn't have an ID, just tell them, hey, I'm going to take you over to the homeless shelter. They're going to show you what you need and how to get your ID. It's super simple. But they say that us rural people of color don't have access to the internet. Well, we don't. And they say we don't have access to Staples. And, I do have to drive 45 minutes to get to Staples. That kind of sucks. That really does suck. But I do have a car. And I do have to go to town for supplies. So when I go to town for supplies, we stop at wherever we need to go. I don't go to Staples because they're too expensive. And I'm smart enough to know that I can just buy a little printer that I can hook up to the Wi-Fi to print from our phones. Actually, I'm not smart enough to know that. My wife is smart enough to know that. She figured it out. That's why I say that. She's a smart lady. But we don't have traditional Wi-Fi out here in rural Oklahoma. We have this little hotspot modem that we use for some simple word processing, and I do most of the show on my phone. Especially right now. It's mostly on my phone. Just a bunch of little adapters and wires and stuff connected right to it using my phone camera. My whole show has been like that. I've upgraded the phone a few times, which is why the sound has gotten better and the video has gotten better. But even without good internet access, which, hey, Starlink, we're on the short list for Starlink, so that's going to be awesome. And we've already have our conduit run for fiber. So we're just working on this little Verizon modem that works for about a week, and then we run out of data and it gets throttled back. So if you want to buy one of those, you can't really do a show with it. I was hoping we could do lives, but we haven't. But I'm looking at doing lives soon. And then it's going to be awesome. I say that because people aren't stupid. Even the dumbest person you'll ever know in your life will figure out how to get something done. And if a person cannot figure out how to get an ID to go vote, I'm going to say it, they shouldn't be voting. Because if they don't know how to get an ID, I bet you they don't even know who the heck they're voting for. I bet you somebody else is telling them who to vote for. So, all that other stuff we talked about, them trying to hide stuff from social media, they've been doing that forever, and them trying to suppress, or change the vote by saying that people are trying to suppress the vote by requiring IDs. It's all a smokescreen. IDs will not solve the problem, but it will make it a little tougher to manipulate things. And notice I didn't say any parties. I just think wherever I decide to move, I'm currently in a red state, and we require IDs. Wherever I decide to move, I would prefer to move someplace that requires IDs, because I feel like my neighbors are really having a say. If my state didn't require an ID, I honestly would just think that the election was BS. Whatever election that might be. Not any elections that we know about ever within the last few years. Until next time, work hard, be kind, have fun. Hey kids, and welcome.